Hello, Gold participants from around the world. I'm Fleur Bickford, Program Director and MC for Gold Learning. I'm chatting today with Dr. Cara, Riek and Dr. Stevanie Bahnerth about their upcoming presentation titled A Multidisciplinary Approach to Post-Phronotomy Care, examining exercises, therapy, and support for the breastfeeding dyad post-release. So, Cara and Stevanie, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, so we're going to jump into some questions. First question, and I'm going to pose this to both of you. So, Cara, maybe you can start and just tell us a little bit about yourself and your professional journey.
So I am a family nurse practitioner and international board certified lactation consultant out in Phoenix, Arizona. My journey into this profession started with the birth of my son. I was actually a high school math teacher and my son was born, and my goal was just to be able to breastfeed him. And we had such a difficult journey and lots of sadness and tears. And when he got to be about 6 months old, I decided that I did not want other women to feel as I had felt. And I quit my job and I enrolled in nursing school, and I went straight through to get my doctorate to be able to open a breastfeeding practice. The whole time I just knew that this is what we would do, and along the way I learned about ties and how they affect breastfeeding, and now it's grown into understanding ties across the lifespan. And my son is going to turn 11 in a couple of days, and here we are.
That's amazing. So interesting. I always love hearing our speakers' stories, and fascinating how many of us end up where we are due to struggles that we've had with our own children. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing. And Stevanie, how about we hear from you? I'd love to hear about your journey as well.
Yeah, I also have 3 children, and I actually had done a lot of research on tongue tie when I was pregnant with my first 13 years ago, but he was born with no tongue tie. But it still interests me, and then I had another baby and still no tongue tie, and by the time I had my third, I had a tongue-tied baby. And I started really correlating care between the release of phrenology and the clearing of other issues in the baby, such as torticollis, colic, reflux, sleep. All of those correlations came, and the more babies and even adults that I saw with revisions, the way their care went was a lot faster once we had a release of ties. So I work very closely with other practitioners to ensure that we're getting the best care we can.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much. And maybe you guys can tell me a little bit how the two of you came to put this together. You know, what was your motivation for putting this presentation together and, you know, deciding that this was a topic that really needed to be shared?
Yeah, so Stephanie and I work pretty closely together, and as we progressed in this journey, we really found that taking care of moms and babies is truly a collaborative approach. It's not just about me as an IBCLC or me just as a release provider or Stevanie just as a chiropractor. It's each person having a very important role in the aftercare of these families. And so the more we work together and collaborate, I think the better results that we get. And I think there's a lot of discussion in the community about exercises that the release provider gives post-phronotomy, but there's really exercises that are given not just from the release provider, from the IBCLC and also from the chiropractic care to really optimize this breastfeeding relationship. And so Stephanie and I got together and said, look, we need to share what we're doing with everyone out there so that we can continue to foster this collaborative approach and not just help babies in our community, but help other practitioners to help their families as well.
Okay, that's fantastic. Stevanie, maybe you can answer the next question. And just tell us a little bit about what are your thoughts on what are some of the most important factors in determining improvement in breastfeeding after tongue tie release?
Well, I guess we look at success for one, if the baby is actively latching and feeding, but also really getting and understanding how the mom is feeling about it. I think understanding that this is an emotional journey sometimes, in that they are feeling supported from all aspects, and knowing that they are getting a dyad care approach where if Cara and I need to speak on a case with the mom, we can work together with care. I just think it's really having a LHA League background. I feel that that is a really important factor in all of this, is that we look at the whole thing, not just one aspect of it, and that the mom is feeling supported from all of us.
Oh, thank you. I love that, and I think it is definitely so important to make sure that we're looking not just at baby, but, you know, mom and partner and other family members as well, everybody that's involved in that baby's care who, you know, might be impacted by what's going on with the ties and the associated issues. So thank you so much. It's very interesting. So as we finish up here, if you guys could just tell our delegates a little bit about what they can expect from your presentation and what you hope they'll take away from your presentation and be able to take back with them to their own practices.
I think we would like patients to, or delegates to realize that this is truly a multidisciplinary approach. It's about putting together a team and realizing that, one, everyone has their role in their own lane, but two, that each person or part of the team should have some understanding of what every other player is going to do. And so our presentation really looks at it from a release provider approach, an IBCLC approach, and a bodywork chiropractic approach to really support the breastfeeding dyad and to optimize outcomes for families, because that's ultimately what our end goal is.
Okay, thank you so much. So really looking forward to your presentation, and for all of our delegates who are listening, you can hear more from Cara and Stevanie at our Tongue Tie Symposium, which is happening live on September 17th. So we look forward to seeing you then. Bye for now, everyone.
Thank you. Have a great day.